Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is my gringo, Nate.
They just want to be upgraded to business class.
Oh, I want to be upgraded to business class. Is it?
That sounds right.
Right? I mean,
that sounds right.
Find me someone who doesn't want that. Find me someone who's like, no, economy basic for me all the way. And of course, our queen of unsuspecting victims, Lisa.
Y'all, I didn't even know that was Eli Roth until the credits rolled.
Had you never seen Eli Roth up until this movie?
Nope.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know. That's a good, that might be a win. I'm not quite sure. We'll figure it out. Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who's usually not someone we would consider a horror fan. I feel like we had others with us this week. We had them. We were partying. We were having a good time, and then just lost them in the pandemonium. Just lost them in. Just like a tsunami of ridiculousness. So it's just the three amigos for this week as we review is it 2014 classic Aftershock?
Are you asking what year this movie came out?
I think so. I'm asking a lot of things in that one question.
It premiered in 2012 and released in 2013.
Okay. So either way, not the year I said. The point being,
no.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the movie we're doing. So this is one of our listener requests. We did flip them. We had two of them come. We're saving the other one for next week. So the first of which is Aftershock, starring Eli Roth and other people that we'll get into. Nate, had you seen this movie prior to this listener request?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Why? Why would I have, Mitch?
Let
me ask you a question.
You watch so many awful movies. Why wouldn't you have seen this?
This is just it's almost too middle of the road. Well, it's not aggressively bad. It's not, although there is a lot of deaths. So I mean,
we'll talk about it. I mean, I can think. Look, if you just do a quick Google of Aftershock the movie. I think you'll see two easy reasons why you probably didn't see this before, or really anyone. One, this was released on September 11th in 2012, which just not a great day to release anything, I feel like. And then
wait, so hold on, is it the tagline of Aftershock always forget?
Mm-hmm. And then not only that, but not to get. I mean, I'm gonna steal a little bit of your thunder, Nate, this week. But I mean, this was a fairly larger budget for what this movie was, and only made
it wasn't that large.
About $2 million is more money than I have lying around, and only made a little south of $300K. So that
but then they're suckers way after the fact renting. So. There's always that. There's always that.
Who, us?
There you go.
Well,
I wonder the person who requested it was one of the producers of the movie. He's like, come on, guys.
Right.
I put everything I had. That 1 million of that 2 million was me. And I did not get it back. I did not even get close to giving it back. Please help.
As Blade would say, some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. And with that, I mean, I think that's the best way to describe this movie. In that I don't know what that means, but it feels appropriate for
it feels right.
It felt right. Felt right.
Close.
Felt good when I said it, and we're gonna go with that.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate up an earthquake.
Yeah. I mean,
it sounds about the same. I don't know.
I think I've said that more times than I should have during watching the Winter Olympics this year. So that is a great quote. I don't think
that was the official Olympics. I don't know what you were watching.
I really want to work that line into more situations in my life. Just having trouble, but we're gonna figure it out. In the meantime, before we get into this movie, I say loosely, let's talk a little news.
First eyewitness account came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent.
Speaking of frightened and incoherent, Nate, you watched the Super Bowl this weekend.
I did. Yeah.
How did you enjoy it? Was it everything you could have hoped it would be?
It was fine.
Who won, Nate?
It was Ram.
Ram it.
Won.
That's right.
Ram.
I got all Lisa. The confidence in the world.
I got Lisa, so that's all that matters.
That's it. Well, look, I mean, a lot of people watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials, and of course, lately, there have been horror movie trailers tend to come out, or have at least the last few years have come out during the Super Bowl. I think last year was the trailer for the M. Night Shyamalan Island movie, Time or whatever the hell. Old. It was old.
Time?
Not time.
Old time.
Old time. Regardless, this year we got a good trailer in Nope. And I want to talk about Nope for a second because we really have not had any details on this movie outside of it just being the next Jordan Peele film. And I want to get y'all's reactions to it. What did y'all think of the trailer for Nope?
Yeah.
You were there when I saw it. And I literally just said, nope.
Yep.
It's the perfect title.
Yeah, Nate and I are in the yep category.
We're in the hard yep.
Oh my God. That lady's face. Look, we were watching the trailer and I just remember kind of watching like, okay, so we've got kind of this alien cloud thing that's sucking on people. And then like you're at like the Kentucky Derby or whatever the hell's happening. And that lady's like face covering comes up and it's like this mummy underneath it. I'm like, what is that? Oh, that's when the trailer kicked into high gear for me. What is that face?
That's when I noped out. So I said, you know what? I'm good. I've seen enough Jordan Peele movies, so I don't need to watch this one.
It's going to be an even better Signs. I'm so excited.
I hope so.
I'm so excited.
I don't want it to be a worse Signs. That seems bad to me.
Well, it's a low bar, I suppose.
It's a medium.
It's a medium bar. I think we
settled on a medium bar.
We did settle.
But yeah, it was not.
I still don't know that I have a solid sense of what this movie is actually going to be about, which is great.
Good. That's good because all the trailers. Let me start my rant here. All the trailers give away too much. Always. This was just what? I have no clue. And I like that. So, yeah. Keep doing that, please. So yeah, I like that. I think that is the way to do it. Very excited. When does
it come out?
I think it was September.
Was it that late?
September or July? Hold on. No, July. Sorry, I take that.
I was about to say I didn't think it was Friday, July 22nd.
I'm gonna need 3 whole months to recover from The Northman, so that's perfect. Maybe the 2 best movies this year both start with N-O. Potentially, we'll see.
Well, now look, they say Nope isn't that right in your alley. I've got one for you, a little more horror comedy. What if I told you that Dave Grohl is going to be making a horror movie? Are you intrigued?
He's star one. He's writing one. Yeah. Yes.
What if I said it's not like the others?
What if I said it's not just another one? He's there. He's putting out a movie called Studio 666. I have actually not watched the trailer for this.
Is that a Studio 54 sequel?
Sure.
That would be amazing.
So I don't know. Nate, have you seen the trailer for this one?
Absolutely not. I usually don't watch trailers. I only watch Nope because you said it was amazing. So, and I know you know me enough that you wouldn't show me a trailer where that was like totally giving away the movie.
That's fair. So this movie, Studio 666 is actually coming out in about a week or so in theaters on February 25th.
Oh, geez.
Hey, Grohl, what's happening?
Yeah, okay. Right? And I'm trying to get kind of a synopsis for you, but I think, okay, so it's going to be, so Jenna Ortega's in it. So from Scream, I think she's going to be Wednesday in the new Wednesday. And Will Forte is in it. Dave Grohl, Jeff Garlin. I think the Foo Fighters are basically all in it, right? Whitney Cummings is in this for some reason.
Okay.
But effectively, I think that it's legendary rock band Foo Fighters move into an Encino mansion steeped in grisly rock and roll history to record their much anticipated 10th album. So I think that it's the idea that they're like getting possessed and stuff while they're trying to write this like awesome.
Oh, this sounds like the Undertaker Choose Your Own Adventure, and by that I mean it sounds bad.
I don't know. So, there's it might be bad. I don't know. I mean, I certainly think they're leaning into more of the horror comedy angle. So maybe that's fine. I mean, look, you're not going to choose your own adventure, and you're not trying to steal an urn out of the Undertaker's house in Dallas. So there's that. I don't know. It could be interesting. There's always, I don't know. We'll see. I would almost want to do a double feature, Nate, of this and the Lords of Salem, which has a kind of a similar sort of thing dealing with like mute, in that case, it's a radio DJ that gets a weird occult album, starts playing it, and then it has a bunch of shit to do with witches. I don't know. It's a little bit better than the normal Rob Zombie fare, but kind of in that same sort of like music horror element.
When I watched Lords of Salem, I watched it as a double feature with the TV show Dead Wax.
Ooh, okay.
Highly recommend that double feature. That's probably like the last really good double feature I've done of new things I hadn't seen before.
I'm hoping that this movie is going to be closer to like Deathgasm, which was a phenomenal horror comedy movie, which I think
we watched it together separately. If I recall, we watched it like the same night.
We did.
And commented to each other. And you were like ahead of me, and then
weirdly like, pre-pandemic, we did this.
Yeah, it's strange.
I think it was just like I don't want you to come over for this, but you need to watch this movie with me.
Yeah. So next week
is this like when you watch Sleepless in Seattle on the phone together?
No, not like that. This is different. But
wait, when did that? When did that happen?
Oh, now you're gonna be ashamed of it, Nate. Come on. No one out there listening question that for a second. No one out there questioned the validity of that statement. Everyone just assumed that was gospel. One, because it came from Lisa, and two, because everyone's like, yeah, that tracks with what we know of.
Okay, Friday this week. Probably this has been quite a year in terms of being busy, for me at least. There's got a lot going on. We'll probably get into it in a couple episodes maybe, but one thing that we've really neglected to talk about is our namesake, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, getting released this Friday on Netflix. Lisa, are you excited?
Oh, good Lord, no. Not
well,
well.
after nearly 50 years of hiding, Leatherface returns to terrorize a group of idealistic young friends who accidentally disrupt his carefully shielded world in a remote Texas town. Does that sound like something you would enjoy?
Okay, so here's the problem. Where they filmed that first movie, there's now a shopping center there. So I don't know where he thinks he's hiding out.
Probably a mall.
I'm not excited.
Probably a mall.
He's hiding at the Barnes and Noble.
Aren't they all abandoned? Oh, come on! Don't take my Barnes and Noble like that. That's harsh. That was a low blow right there.
Nate, I'm being serious. Where they filmed it, there's a Barnes and Noble there now.
I thought you were saying he was so dead he could still hide there in this movie. Like these kids are like, oh, remember when books were like had pages, like physical pages, like
I
paper?
love Barnes and Noble. No,
let's go into it, and then they wake up Leatherface, and then he goes after him. That's what I thought.
I know where they filmed it, and there's a Barnes and Noble there now. So where he's hiding.
I guess find out.
So no, I'm not excited.
Find out Friday when it gets released.
Find out Friday. The director was cinematographer for a movie called Bloodfest. So you got that going for you.
Now the writer
and he did the camera and electrical department for the Iron Man World Championship in 2017. So does that help?
No.
Does that make you less excited or more excited?
I don't know. Neutral.
So Elsie Fisher is in this, who you might remember from eighth grade.
Fisher?
No, Elsie Fisher.
Oh.
Who you might remember from eighth grade, Bo Burnham's first movie. And you might remember from season 2 of Castle Rock as the daughter of
okay.
Of what's her face?
Annie Wilkes.
Lizzie Kaplan, yeah. Playing Annie Wilkes. So
there's also Agnes in Despicable Me. Let's pick stuff Lisa knows.
Okay. Oh yeah, and she was in the Addams Family animated movie. I forgot to. So there you go. Maybe I'm trying to bump it up any way I can.
So
it's not happening. Okay, well.
So the guy that wrote the story for this, Fede Alvarez, also did Don't Breathe. Was the writer for Don't Breathe, the Evil Dead remake, Don't Breathe 2.
Of course.
So
friend of the show, Fede, for sure. He's great.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things too. I almost think at this point we have to start like rethinking. You know, I think maybe it's more folks our age, Nate, that the direct to streaming has this like sort of like terrible connotation, right? You're like, oh god, this one's going straight to
what is this? Straight to Netflix,
right? Because you're so used to like, oh, this went straight to the bin. But I don't know if that's really the case anymore, honestly. At least certainly maybe with horror. I don't know. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll be watching it. So it's only an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm, that's
man, everything is conspiring to make this a not very good movie. Oh boy. I have low expectations.
Yeah.
Low.
Yeah. I'm hoping this movie takes place in New Braunfels or something. It needs to really.
We need to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is what we need to do. That's a movie.
Oh, it's
there's a sequel.
Oh, there's a number of them, Lisa.
There's a lot of them.
Oh,
Jessica Biel was involved. Matthew McConaughey was involved. Do I have your attention now?
God.
Do I have your attention now?
Mitch, so Nate, you saw the new Scream.
I did not see it. No.
You have not seen it yet. Okay, so this question is more for Mitch then. Okay. Do we think that that's how this movie's going to be? Kind of poking fun at itself, or do you think it's not going to be that holly jolly?
What, Texas? It's hard to picture Leatherface as holly jolly. No,
he kind of rumbles hilariously.
No, but I mean, but Scream is such a. I mean, that's a movie franchise that's built on being a little smarter and being more self-aware.
The
Texas Chainsaw movies are not at all self-aware.
Just cut them up.
Right.
Cut them up.
Now, again, it could be a kind of a new take. I'm curious if there's going to be a little bit more involved in the I think the main people in this movie are coming from California, which, for folks that are not from Texas, obviously we've had Austin and the area. Funnily enough, the area where Texas Chainsaw Massacre takes place is has blown up with a lot of folks coming in from California due to all the the tech stuff and all that. I'm curious if there's going to be some sort of commentary around that may be a little too hopeful and on the nose. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do kind of different than they did in the first one. So we'll see. I really don't know too much about it, honestly. So yeah, I'd rather go. I feel like I'd rather go into this one colder than I'm okay knowing a little bit more about Nope.
What do you know about Nope? Nothing.
That's what I mean. I'd like to know.
I'm more excited for Lisa to watch Orphan First Kill. That's what I want to see.
Oh, but she has to watch Orphan. But I yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah, we can do.
We got to get you caught up on Orphan because
Oh yeah, that's totally fine. Just add
There's only 2.
Add it to the list.
Can I add a movie to the list? Can I say something?
We already did Addams Family. You're caught up till next
year.
year.
You're good. You're good for you got 6 months banked, I think, at this point.
What movie do you want to?
The trailer for Doctor Strange came out, and it looks.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nate loves him some Marvel movies. So I know Nate will be. Nate, you've already bought your ticket, right?
Doesn't count.
It's the Marvel. It's a Marvel horror movie.
That means it's not a horror movie.
How dare you?
Is Doctor Strange gonna die? I don't care.
No, he's gonna fight some weird Cthulhu monster and turn into a zombie and all sorts of crazy shit.
Put it on the list.
This is, and actually, this Aftershock is great in this aspect. Everyone can die in Aftershock. That's what I like about horror movies. Doctor Strange, people can't die. Come on,
Nate. Half of the world's population died during Infinity War, so I don't know.
Oh, they're gone. They're gone. They're gone forever. Oh, cool.
Yeah, forever. How would you know? You haven't seen any of them.
I've heard that there was some time travel nonsense that occurred, which Mitch knows. Well, both of us hate time travel. So,
well, have you ever seen Aftershock?
Wait, isn't Doctor Strange's whole thing doing time manipulation? God, that's why I don't like it.
It's
God,
the
time stone is gone.
The time stone's gone. Now there's no going back in time. Now it's it's going across the multiverse.
God,
spanning multiple different threads.
Can I get into another dimension when we're not talking about this?
Nate, you've been complaining lately that we agree with you too much. That's why we have to watch this movie.
Oh, okay. Lisa just dunked in your face on that one.
Get ready. I guess I'm not watching it in the theater, so you have to wait till it comes out.
No, you're watching in the theaters. What is wrong with you? I don't understand.
You not giving them $5 is not going to change their bottom line.
Well, if you're not even going to pay them, your money's already sunk. You have that AMC. You have the AMC pass.
I know. I canceled it already. Oh no. All right. Let's
feel free. Look, let Nate know how wrong he is about the Marvel.
Yeah. Do our fans like Doctor Strange specifically? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. You can
in your
Jesus. You can email us at texaspodcastmassacre@gmail.com. You can find us Texas Podcast Massacre on Facebook, Instagram, all those. TX Pod Massacre on Twitter. You can give us a call.
346-246-3143. Leave us a voicemail. Let us know how great Doctor Strange is.
Oh yeah, call. Hang out with us. Say hi.
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is like the Leatherface of the Marvel universe because this is gonna be such a horror movie.
Maybe. Again, look, this episode is a listener request because they left an awesome 5-star review. You can leave one too and get you a movie request in, and we will do it.
Human Centipede 3 is on the list. Don't
it is? No one has requested that.
The people are clamoring. When is this happening? It's happening.
We had one person. We had one person like send us something on a tweet, and I'm like, no, that 5-star for it
counts.
No, it doesn't. That just makes the list. That doesn't get you priority. You want priority, and that's why you need to give us a 5-star review. With that, this is
because this garbage movie made it in. So anything is possible.
That's called priority boarding. Sometimes some movies just want to get upgraded to business class. And that's what we did. There we go. With that said, let's get into this week's listener movie of the week, Aftershock.
I feel like every girl I meet, I have to download some new app. What happened to meeting a girl in the park and saying, hey, how about a cup of coffee?
Don't worry, Gringo. We're taking you to a nice park where you can ask a girl for coffee. Trust me.
This place is awesome. It's like the indie station of Latin America.
That's the real Chile.
Prison collapsing. Prisoners are everywhere.
Aftershock measures a blistering nothing on the Richter scale. Nate, or actually, sorry, excuse me, Lisa, our unsuspecting victim. What is this movie about?
This movie is about a bunch of random tourists that happen to be together for some reason that is never explained. Partying it up in Chile until a random earthquake hits and all hell breaks loose.
I'd like to propose a change to our show format, Lisa and Nate. I want Lisa to keep doing these, but I want to go full 90s and play Semi-Charmed Kind of Life in the background while she's doing it, so it's like just sounds straight like a 90s promo.
I'm fine with that.
This guy was gold. It was gold. I was thinking too. Just
in a world,
these guys
where 6 tourists
partying in Chile.
They dropped.
Yeah, I really wish we had gotten. We were able to get unsuspecting victims Liz and Naveed on here for this one. I would love to hear their takes. We'll have to get them for the next South American tourist themed
movie. Green Inferno added to the list.
Anything with tourists, I think, just really keep them on that thread. I think that's where we're. Nate, what can you tell us about Aftershock?
Aftershock, released, wide release. Well, wide release is generous. Fully released in 2013. As Mitch mentioned, $2 million budget, only $294,000 in the box office. But it's making that sweet bank in the rental game. I can't even say that without laughing. Movie did not do super great. Tight 89 minutes, so that's good. That hey, at least it didn't overstay its welcome. 4.8. It registers 4.8 on the IMDb scale, which is fine. Main attractions in this one: Eli Roth as Gringo. Eli Roth proving once again that any movie he's in, he can die pretty amazingly. Previous episode Piranha, he gets like decapitated, underwater decapitation, which is pretty rare. And basically he just dies in every movie other than Inglourious Bastards. He just dies like comedically terribly. This one.
Well, I'm glad I didn't know that going in.
Yep. He gets lit on fire while being crushed. So there's that. The actor who played Ariel is Ariel Levy. All these people are all in Green Inferno also. So a lot of the same cast, Green Inferno. You have Lorenza Izzo, Kylie in this movie, the one doing most of the drugs. She ended up getting married to Eli Roth for a while and being in a bunch of his movies. Yeah, she is Chilean also. And so all these people are in Green Inferno. Everybody. Pollo in Green Inferno. The person who became his wife in Green Inferno.
Oh, is he the dude that eat?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arena. So I guess Arena and Andrea Oshvart, who was born in Budapest, did not make the cut for being Green Inferno, but everybody else is in Green Inferno. So, and that was obviously directed by Eli Roth. So Eli Roth. So what I'm realizing here, Mitch, is that we have not done an Eli Roth movie, unless you count the Thanksgiving short we did as part of Grindhouse. But if you don't count that, we have not done any Eli Roth movies, including the all-time classic Cabin Fever from 2002. That probably needs to change.
I'm happy with the decisions we've made in the 4-ish years we've been doing this.
Come on.
What do you really want to risk having to do Green Inferno with a review? I mean,
I've already watched it once. Oh
God, why?
I've already watched it.
Did you not see Cannibal Holocaust? Did you miss out on that one?
I watched Cannibal Holocaust after Green Inferno, actually. So I was like,
you see, I saw it the other way.
That's fine. All right. So let's go through Eli Roth's movies and let's pick which one we should do. Cabin Fever 2002 features Lisa. You'll like this. Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World.
Nothing about Cabin Fever should be followed with Lisa.
Hold on. Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World.
I know Ryder Strong.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He has sex with someone and then pours Listerine on his penis just to make sure he doesn't get a flesh-eating virus afterward. Now, are you still interested?
Oh my God, no.
Okay. Hostel. I'm just going to say no for you.
Nope.
Hostel Part 2.
Nope.
Why would Part 2 be better than the first one?
Green Inferno, South American Cannibals.
Nope.
Okay, there's Knock Knock. Keanu Reeves is involved.
Poor Keanu.
Okay, well, not really in that one.
No, yeah. Yes, but no.
I'm gonna skip that one. He did a kids movie, The House with a Clock in Its Walls, featuring Jack Black and Cate Blanchett.
I saw the trailer for that, but never saw the movie.
Okay, there you go.
That could be okay.
That's a movie of his, and now he's doing a movie about Borderlands, the video game, which I know can't be good. So there's that.
Didn't I see that he did Inglourious Bastards?
He acted.
Or did I totally?
He acted in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh,
did he?
Okay.
So Eli Roth. Yeah, he's the bear Jew. Come on.
Oh my God, he is.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Eli Roth is a triple threat: writing, acting, and directing.
Let's calm down there, Nate.
He wrote Lake Mead in post-production with Nicolas Lopez, who directed this film. And so they're still working together even later. Looks like it's going to be a Lake Placid type deal, but with entities lurking beneath the surface. So there's that. He's still writing stuff. He wrote the screenplay for the almost direct remake of his first big movie, Cabin Fever. 14 years later, it was basically remade. And like almost exactly shot for shot for some reason. shot for shot in parts. So there's that. But I know Mitch wants to talk about Eli Roth's History of Horror. You like that show?
Well, is
on AMC. Just going through.
So okay,
horror,
so all right,
different horror genres and categories, right? So
I think it is like some of History of Horror is good. I think that they're I like the idea of the show. I've had issues with Eli Roth on it, and and here's where it stems from. If you go on Shudder, there's actually an unabridged version of the show where he's like he has a full interview with Stephen King and with Rob Zombie and with all these like major directors and very influential horror people, right? And it's pretty awesome. And you're sitting there thinking like, oh, this would be great. You'll get some insights from these guys. The problem is Eli Roth doesn't he keeps interrupting them the whole time. Just won't shut up and let them tell the damn story. So it's a little annoying there. I do think the actual show itself is cool. And I mean, I think if you're a newer fan of horror, or maybe you're you could be one of our younger listeners who, maybe don't watch a lot of the older stuff. I think it does bring up a lot of cool movies. It's been a decent series, but yeah, be warned, it could be so much better.
Well, if you don't like that series, you can check out on Discovery Plus, Eli Roth presents A Ghost Ruined My Life.
Eli Roth ruined my life. All right.
True, quote unquote, true stories of hauntings that have shattered the lives of the people who have experienced them. So there's that. There's that. See, he's again triple threat. Lisa, the last movie he acted in was called Death Rider in the House of Vampires, directed by Glenn Danzig. I remember Glenn Danzig from 2019's Veronica, one of the worst movies that's ever been made. So, and that's coming from me. That's coming from me, Lisa. Think about that for a second.
So that one did not make the Naterian collection? I'm confused.
It's not in the Naterian collection. No.
Seems like a glaring omission.
Yeah. So I want to get into, Lorenza Izzo, who again,
L to the Izzo,
married Eli Roth after this film, and is from Chile. He played Kylie in this movie. She's been in some other horror stuff. She was in Green Inferno, Eli Roth. Knock Knock, Eli Roth. She was in The House with the Clock in His Walls, Eli Roth. But then she was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Penny Dreadful, the Los Angeles version, which I did not watch.
We never watched that one. Yeah.
Did not watch, but it's horror adjacent, horror something, right? So I figured, hey, go with that. And she's got a bunch of stuff in the can. So you should see her pretty soon. Including in a Fletch remake. I don't know how you feel about Fletch.
I don't know what that is.
Chevy Chase, Fletch. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, never mind. Anyway, she's in some stuff coming up. That's what I wanted to say. Let's get into this movie. I feel like we could talk about it for about 12 minutes.
I know. I'm looking at the time when we recorded, being like,
look at the time.
We're still good.
Let's talk about it for 17.
We're still okay.
Let's talk about it for 17 minutes because originally this movie was NC-17. I want to see that cut of the movie.
No, you don't, because just going to be longer view of the rape scene.
Oh, maybe that's okay.
You know exactly that's what it is. I mean,
maybe it was like maybe it was like Selena Gomez just looking like, God, why did I agree to do this?
It's really interesting.
Jesus
so
Christ.
Look, I don't right. So I'll just say this off the bat. I'm just not a fan of Eli Roth films. I don't think they're very good. Okay. I laughed through most of them, and they're not supposed to be laughing.
Okay, well that's what he wanted.
I don't think that's what he wanted.
Like he was a producer on Baywatch. Okay, he knows how to get the laughs. All right,
sure. So, but what's interesting though, I just it's just a general. I just don't care for his stuff. But in some of the groups I'm in, particularly for Fantastic Fest and some of the other movie festival things, there's a deep seated, I hate this guy And I don't know if he's like done anything or if he's just kind of comes off as just a prick, and so people don't like him. But like,
comes off very douchey in this movie for the first half.
He may not be acting, is what the impression that I get from all these other people, and I'm very. I don't know. I kept like looking to see if like there's anything specifically that happened, and I can't find anything. I was curious y'all's overall impressions about him, both as an actor in this and just his work in general. Lisa, I mean, I know you really haven't seen a whole lot of his stuff. I know you know. Probably.
I've seen, I think, nothing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
I would say Cabin Fever. I would say Cabin Fever when I watched. I think I told the story before, but. We watched Cabin Fever instead of Matchstick Men. Those were the two options to go see when we were young teenagers. And I pushed hard for Cabin Fever. And then my friend punched me when we got out of the movie. So take that however you want. I did want to get into one thing. So Aftershock is obviously a horror thriller, more thrillery, about, a group of people in Chile. Big earthquake, Aftershock's the earthquake, all the stuff associated with it, prisoners escaping conveniently. It's a disaster movie, basically. We don't really do disaster movies very often. So I wanted to go back into the vault. And basically I was thinking like, what's the best decade for disaster horror films? And it's clearly the 1970s. Let me go through them real quick, because I'd rather talk about that than this movie. We got Airport. We got plane crashes in Airport. We got Poseidon Adventure, or Under the Ocean disaster. We got the Towering Inferno. We got a building fire disaster. Meteor, Sean Connery. There's a meteor. Seems pretty obvious there.
Okay.
As featured in Mystery Science Theater, one of my favorite episodes of Mystery Science Theater of all time, Avalanche, with Mia Farrow and Rock Hudson. Obviously that's an avalanche. Andromeda Strain, you got space viruses, and you got Earthquake with Charlton Heston. Now, what I want to say is, would you guys rather have watched Earthquake with Charlton Heston than watch this movie?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to get at.
There's a lot I would have.
They already did it in the 70s. I'm wondering, what you got Charlton Heston in that. You got Ava Gardner, like an actual actress. Richard Roundtree, Shaft is in there. I mean, come on. You got George Kennedy, Walter Matthau. A much better cast than this one. I wanted to see if that was interesting to you. China Syndrome. You got nuclear stuff. Day of the Animals Attack. You basically got everything. So the 70s was awesome. Well, for disaster.
Let me ask you something based on what you just said. I am not sure. I think the writing in this movie was so bad and so just god awful. I can't tell. Like, I don't.
Are you saying it was a double disaster movie?
Well, yes.
The
I don't know where to even assign blame. Like, could you have done this same movie with like you kind of mentioned? Oh, well, actually, this movie had an actual actor or whatever. I don't know if you could not have put any A-lister in this movie and fixed it. It's at least that's my thought. I can't tell. I really don't know if it's just that the acting is just so bad and that's why I don't care about any of these people, or if the writing's so bad, or if it's really just, I mean, it's a tsunami on top of an earthquake on top of a tornado. Like it's just everything rolled up into one. I struggle with that, Nate. I need talk me through this. I mean, where
well, I mean, think of a movie, and so the second decade of awesome disaster movies was the 90s. Think of a movie like Twister. Yeah. Think of a movie like Twister, Mitch. I mean, Twister is basically just chasing tornadoes. There's almost
Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, well, Day After Tomorrow was kind of garbagey, but compared to like a Twister or Independence Day from the same guy,
sure,
right? Those
weren't horror, though, to be fair, but yes,
those aren't horror.
But we were saying the disaster.
I got you. I'm with you.
Yeah, Twister is a good disaster. That's a good disaster movie. What's the plot? What's the plot of Twister? There's a bunch of tornadoes. And then it's kind of awkward that the people used to be hooking up are now having to work together. That's it. There's almost nothing there, right? But it's pretty well done. I mean, if you got Philip Seymour Hoffman being hilarious, that really helps, right? I think this could have been good with a better cast. I mean, look, you got Pierce Brosnan and Dante's Peak. What was the premise of Dante's Peak? I don't even remember. It was a volcano, and there was another volcano movie like a couple years apart from each other.
Dante's Peak has
Tommy Lee Jones. There's just volcano movies popping out of the late 90s all over the place.
I used to think Dante's Peak had the dumbest death in a movie, and then I saw this one.
Oh, the walking through the water?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that movie wasn't that good either, but I remember parts of. I'll never remember this movie. I mean, I won't remember anything. So there's that. You know, and even like a previous episode, Outbreak. Outbreak's a good 90s disaster movie. There's ways to do it where they don't suck. Obviously, with a bigger budget, it's easier to do and better actors. When your best actor is Eli Roth, you are in trouble. I think that's mainly what we've probably learned here.
Well, and what I wonder too is if they brought in Eli Roth later to sort of help like fix up the script a little bit, and that's part of why he was in it as well. Like I don't get the sense that maybe he was involved from the very beginning, but maybe he was. I don't know. This movie is just a colossal mess. I mean, Lisa, what did you think about? What are your thoughts on this movie?
I don't know. It was like I didn't even mind the acting so much. I thought the acting was fine.
Uh-huh.
Like we've seen way worse. So they all did fine. I think what got to me is they overdid every aspect of it. Like, okay, Eli Roth has to have a kid, and then the girl from Budapest has to have a kid. So you have to feel bad that they're parents. And then the sisters have to have
Spoiler
a whole
alert,
thing where they don't get along and they're half sisters. And then you have to have the other guy who has an ex that he's pining for. Like everyone had to have so much baggage. It was ridiculous. Yeah. And then you had to have a gratuitous rape scene. You had to have kids that died in this elevator shaft thing that fell.
Oh man,
they were just like
something. That was something.
They were just like, if we can do it, we're gonna do it. So we're gonna do absolutely everything that we can do.
Now, to be fair, that was not an elevator shaft. It was a funicular.
Okay, whatever, Nate.
To be fair to who?
To be fair to funiculars. To be fair to funiculars. There's a really good.
What a weird thing to call.
That's the stand. That's the stand I'm going to take.
What a weird hill to die on.
I'm suspecting victim Taylor and I'm suspecting victim Taylor and I rode a funicular in Budapest.
Okay.
One time, so I gotta give props to the funicular.
Do I? I don't know that I do.
I do. I don't know. So anyway, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, but I agree, Lisa. I mean, it was just. Even for a movie called Aftershock, it was a bit much.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, you know what you're getting with a movie called Aftershock. It's not going to be subtle. But even with that, it's like, come on, man. This is.
It was okay, and then okay, and then okay. And then the guy lost his hand and then got kicked around the club, and then it wasn't okay anymore.
Yeah, there was like a little, like a little, like. It could have been kicked. It could have been like that. It was comedically terrible in a non-planned way, like you were saying, Mitch. It was bad. Yeah. I can't even. I'm trying. Now, there was a 2010 earthquake in Chile that did hit Valparaiso. Shout out to Valparaiso, where I'm from.
I was about to say, is this
not in Chile?
I know, Valpo.
They're both equally beautiful.
I was about to say, if I had never been to your Valparaiso, I would think that this is the only Valparaiso and that you've been lying to me.
That's fair. It's a better one. And it happened in 2010. There was a quake that was 8.8 on the Richter scale. Pretty high.
Oh my gosh.
Got some tsunamis. Valparaiso was impacted. So there's that.
So this is realistic.
Only a couple of years after was this actually was this made. Like that's a little brutal. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. This movie was just not good. I don't know. Any characters of redeeming quality at all, Lisa, for you? There's like the half sister who's like the only one who's semi-reasonable, Monica. She's from Hungary.
Yeah, Eli Roth's daughter that you see on FaceTime for about 2 seconds. He was redeeming. I mean, she was redeeming.
That phone was hilariously old. That was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I would
that kid and the girl from Hungary, her little boy that he doesn't even talk. You just see a video. I was like, okay.
Oh, it was the lady from Russia who had the boy. Right?
Oh, from Russia. Sorry, you're right. It was the Russian. Yes,
but yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't know.
No, not really.
Not really. Nope.
This is an hour and a half movie. You spend 50 minutes, a little over 50 minutes, so over half of the movie before the earthquake happens. Well, what I'm saying is, you spend all this time building up all these backstories and all this shit, and all that time is wasted because you don't give a shit about any of these people. It doesn't. A lot
of them die really fast.
None of their stories, none of the things they've been trying to help kind of flesh out these characters makes any difference later. Effectively, it just feels like a waste of time. So by the time you get to it, the movie just feels like it's been dragging on forever. And then you get into the actual like disaster part of the movie. Right?
I mean, they're setting up the characters for some mainly redemptive arcs because they're all douchey. So,
but they don't. There's no redemption. Like that's fine to set them up if you're going to have a payoff, but you don't do anything with it. I mean,
there's redemption. I mean, no. Eli Roth is less douchey for a bit.
You mean when he rats out where they're hiding?
Well, he was getting massively tortured.
And then he flings a rock in the dumbest way possible.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was not effective, but he was going for it.
Going for what? What was he going to do? He can't throw a rock, and he's still covered in alcohol. That's the dumbest death I've ever seen in my life.
Pollo had a redemptive move as well, I would say. He saved 2 people's lives, one very briefly, and one turned out to be a straight up murderer, but he tried.
The point is he tried.
He did try.
Tried your best.
He realized he was a total douchebag and he tried.
Full on Homer Simpson.
Look, you don't always succeed when you try not to be douchey, but the effort was commendable. So I will say that.
I disagree.
Yeah,
I'm in the Homer Simpson camp. You tried your best and you failed miserably. The lesson is never try.
I mean, I don't know. This movie was just, I'm a huge fan of Agatha Christie. And one of my favorite stories of hers. Yeah, I'm getting there. Don't worry about it.
I can't even getting there. Sorry, my brain couldn't swivel that fast. What?
Don't worry. One of my favorite, and Shakespeare, and let me tell you why. In both of those,
I also enjoy the classics
Shakespeare because I do like stories where everyone dies. So then there were none. Classic Agatha Christie story, highly recommend reading. And Hamlet, right, from Shakespeare. Basically, all the characters die.
Spoiler alert!
In these very many hundreds of years old story. Like 100 years.
Agatha Christie is not hundreds of years old.
That's the Shakespeare one. About 100 for Agatha Christie, I think. So I think we're okay. But this movie, basically, every character that you've seen dies. Every single one. All of them.
No, they do not.
All the main characters.
No, sir. That ending is very ambiguous. Okay,
she could have coasted on that wave right out of the country.
She's hobbling for her life. She might be. There might be an Aftershock too.
How big that wave was? She could have rode from the Pacific to the Atlantic Ocean, like all the way across the continent. That was Day After Tomorrow-esque tsunami levels for sure. So basically, the premise is, we haven't even got into it, but who cares? Premise is Eli Roth's the gringo. Him and his wife divorced. She's got a boyfriend. Blah blah. He's going out to party in Chile. He's got a guy Pollo. His dad's
how
rich.
Eli got his groove back. That's basically
this is how Eli got his groove back. Very creepily, tried to get his groove back and didn't. But anyway, they meet up. There's his crew. Ariel, he's the guy who just got broken up with, basically, and he's kind of lovesick. Pollo just knows everybody. He's like, everything's cynical. I don't care. I'm trying to hook up with ladies. And Eli Roth is like basically just like a dad the whole time. They meet a lot of these ladies, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to hook up with them, blah, blah, blah. Some of, they're American. Some of them are American. Then the thing hits. Then it turns from like, okay, disaster movie, like funiculars with a bunch of children or plummeting. That's not great. Everyone's getting hurt. One guy's arm gets cut off. Then he dies in the funicular. That was brutal. Other people are dying everywhere. There's like side catastrophes happening from this huge earthquake. Then they're just like, oh, hey, like part of one of the walls of the prison collapsed. And now there's all these like inmates and they are just out to murder everybody.
Yep.
I don't know how that turned so quickly from like, hey, there's some inmates that escaped to like, they are now the antagonists of the whole movie. That was a quick turn.
Also, are inmates' wardrobe choices different? I didn't think that they got to wear whatever they wanted, but
they all had tattoos. That's how you know you're not an inmate if you have a tattoo.
Yeah, apparently.
Or not. No tattoos, no inmates. So, yeah, it was interesting. They want to rape the scantily clad ladies that they were there, partying and hanging out. And Eli Roth gets pinned under a falling statue and then tortured by a big dude sitting on that statue, crushing him, and then lit on fire. So there's that. Yeah, the guy gets his hand cut off, then plummeted to death in a funicular accident. Other guy just gets shot. That was kind of pedestrian. Another lady gets shot. Another lady gets stabbed to death. And another lady, basically at the end, the only one who survives, goes to the ocean and the tsunami finally comes that they were mentioning before.
But not before randomly finding a bunch of aborted like fetuses in the basement of a church. So that was fun.
Yeah, in the tunnels. That actually happened a lot in a lot of places. So that's real.
The more you know.
Just heads up. Just heads up. That's real. Yeah, so that's the whole movie. I don't know. It wasn't good.
Nate, you forgot one of the most important characters in this whole thing. Russell Dazzle.
Russell Dazzle. One of the first deaths.
You know what? Honestly, he's on the screen for 5 minutes and I was more impacted by his death than anyone else.
That could be right. Mitch wants to get that haircut. Like,
oh my God. That dude.
Russell Dazzle.
That was very 90s.
Onto the dance floor.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could do every one of these moves that he is doing.
He's the John Ralphio of the
camera work was almost designed to make you dizzy. I don't know what was happening in that scene, those shots, but like it was designed to like be spinning as much as possible, probably to make his very pedestrian dance moves look more exciting. I'm not sure what was happening. Yeah, it was probably one of the better moments in the movie, which is not saying a whole lot.
Daggering you on the dance floor.
Yeah, it was brutal. But yeah, that's the movie. Not good. Do we remember the person's name who recommended this? You know who you are. You know who you are. All right. Aftershock. Come on. What are we doing here? But thank you for the review. But what are we doing here?
I'd like to, if I may, take a moment to speculate wildly. So I mentioned, I was just kind of thinking through what we're talking about this. I mentioned that, I don't know if there's anything going on with Eli Roth, but this is not his first movie that has to do with.
You just don't like Eli Roth.
Well, but hear me out for a second. But like this is not his first movie where he's like, hey, people go to another country and then like it's just the fucking worst. And I just wonder if this is all stemming from some like personal thing. Like, is he such like a douche that like he goes off to places and people hate him and he's like, oh,
he got married. He got married in Chile. So there's that.
I guess so. I'm just thinking like this and Hostel and Turistas
and Green Inferno.
To be fair, I don't know if he was involved in Turistas. That may have just been another movie that was trying to do the same thing.
I don't think he was involved.
But Green Inferno. I mean, it's pretty much like, hey, if you go to another country, you're gonna die.
Well, his first movie was Cabin Fever. Was going to the back country.
Oh yeah, if you leave your house, you're gonna die.
Yeah, maybe. Don't go to a Thanksgiving parade. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, no, Knock Knock. He stayed in his house almost the whole time, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, Knock Knock wasn't really a horror movie though.
It's thriller, invasion-y. It's close. I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Eli Roth fan either, but we got to do Cabin Fever at some point. I mean,
we got to do it at some point. No, we don't. We don't, Nate. There's so many good horror movies.
Lisa wants a Ryder Strong movie. That's the only one we're going to get.
Doesn't.
There's only one option.
Nate, I look. I realize
no other movies.
I realize that we've been recording these separately for a while now. Like, you know, we used to be in the same room we record. Now we've been recording them in different locations. I will still continue the tradition and go to your house and punch you if we watch that stupid Cabin Fever movie, just to keep the tradition alive. Fine.
Cabin Fever 2.
Oh my God! You get punched
or 3.
You get punched twice, 3 times. Just keeps.
I forgot that 2 also has Ryder Strong, and then 3 has Judah Friedlander.
Oh my!
So you really can't go wrong.
Oh my gosh!
You really can't go wrong anywhere.
You know what? I'm just gonna call it. Let's get into the final cut.
Final cut.
I don't even. Who wants to go first? Who wants to end the nightmare?
First.
There you go. Nate.
2 out of 10. Not good. 2 out of 10. There was 2. Man, that funicular death was pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal. A lot of kids, a lot of people.
It was just completely unnecessary, and just to keep cutting back to them over and over.
Well, yeah, you made all the practical effects. What, are you not going to use it? I mean, come on. I mean, you got to get it on the camera a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't Nicolas Lopez, not known for his restrained filmmaking in the director chair. It's a 2. You know, there was a couple of the kills were pretty brutal. I like the Chilean scenery. That was nice.
I know. At first, I was like, "Oh, they must have worked with
looked amazing at the very end. That looked like a great beach. It was like the old beach, basically. It looked nice. There was a couple good things, but man, Eli Roth can just not carry a movie. I mean, Eli Roth as your biggest actor in the movie is that's not the way to do it.
Not a recipe for success.
He should be like the eighth actor in the movie, like Inglourious Bastards. Now we're talking. You get him on screen for a few minutes. Okay, and then he can be like impactful. Okay, that's probably his max role. Not leading a whole film. Yeah, that's probably not your best bet. So yeah, 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 belated tsunamis.
I'm just gonna jump in. I agree. I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 10 on the Richter scale. It's just not good.
Stop agreeing with me, man. Stop.
I'm sorry. I don't want to give it a 1 because this movie didn't make me angry that I watched it. Like 1 is reserved for like it's so bad that I am livid that
this is just like a you know what? I might give it a 3. I'm bumping up to a 3. It was mediocre, but not aggressively terrible. So yeah, you know what? That's probably a 3 for me.
I'm going to stay at 2 because the sort of way I think about it is a 3 for me is like I didn't like it, and I'm just going to forget that I ever watched this and just never. 2 is like I'm going to go out of my way and probably tell people not to watch this, and that's where I'm at right now. It's bad. Don't watch it. And I can say that about a lot of Eli Roth films, but this one in particular, doesn't even like at least Hostel has some like redeeming stuff. Like there's a few things that like at least for the novelty of it is worth seeing, right? But like this has nothing. This is a big this is a big old thing of nothing. If I give you an hour and a half movie and say you really don't have to pay attention for like 40 minutes, then it's just a waste. So yeah, Lisa, take us home. Where are you? Where do you sit on this one?
I think I'll also give it a 2 out of 10.
Wow, aren't you clamoring for that classic film Godzilla vs. Hedorah now? Ooh, want to take anything back? Want to take anything back? Just saying.
No, I don't. That was not good either.
I think the acting by the person in the Hedorah suit was better than Eli Roth's acting in this movie. And that guy had appendicitis.
I didn't have an issue with his acting. His acting was fine. It was just a horrible movie.
So you liked Eli Roth's acting, or you thought it was just okay? Like it was
fine. It was
negligible. Fine. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, that
I think I don't
know about that.
So without putting too many words in your mouth, I think what Lisa's saying is in a world of garbage, he's shown through.
I don't know what that means.
Everything else is so bad that like it was passable. Like it didn't make it worse. It was fine because everything else is just a dumpster fire, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I speak Lisa. I understand. Yeah. Where that.
Well, look, we had too many good movies in a row again, including Godzilla vs. Ghidorah, and now back down to earth. I like that. Deep in the earth for Aftershock. And I'm not confident about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we got Rubber coming up and Human Centipede. So I'm feeling pretty good about the quality of movies going back down to a level.
We do not have Human Centipede. Will you stop that?
We're not doing it. I'm looking at it.
You can look all damn day.
Please, someone give us a 5-star review so we can solidify Humans. It can be any of the Human Centipede. It doesn't have to be 3. You can go 1, 2, or 3. Dealer's choice. Doesn't really matter story-wise or anything like that. Not like it's going to matter. Lisa will like them all.
Nate, are you getting royalties?
No. No, I am not. I didn't even. I started watching the first one. I was like, nah, I'm good. So I've never even really fully seen.
The first one's the only watchable one, and that's not even.
Have you seen the other two?
No. That's what I mean.
I didn't think so.
No, I've seen most
fire, and you've seen rain.
Yes, I saw the fire.
Seen Human Centipedes that you thought would never end.
So.
You've seen Human Centipedes.
Oh my god!
Don't disgrace that wonderful song.
That's a James Taylor reference for the younger people.
Oh my god! Nate, where can they?
Let's mercifully end this. If you want to tweet at us, James Taylor.
I don't think anyone wants to now.
If you want to tweet at us James Taylor song quotes and or request a Human Centipede movie at TX Massacre, tweet us out. But more importantly for Mitch, 5-star review on the podcast platform of your choice, Apple Podcast, Podcast Addict. Apparently we got some fans. Give us a 5-star review and let us know. We will put your movie on the list. We just did Aftershock. So we're not going to say no to basically anything. So there's that. What was that one movie in the school that was so terrible?
Oh God!
The kids had the detention in the school. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I don't even
remember the name.
I'm blissfully blanking on it. So
it was so Deadly Detention. That's the name of it.
We did
Deadly Detention.
Gotten that one.
We did Deadly Detention. We did Aftershock. So we'll do your movie. Don't worry about it. Again, if you want to give us a call, 346-246-3143. Leave us a voicemail. And you'll play it on the show as long as you're not praising Eli Roth, and then Mitch might screen it. So watch out for that. Still waiting for that Hansel and Gretel review request as well. That's it. And we have some other listener requests coming up in the very near future. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix. So look out for those episodes.
I don't know why Nate feels like he has to spike my blood pressure at the end of an episode. If you have the audacity to recommend Hansel and Gretel, you best leave a voicemail. And I want to hear. I want to hear why. I want to hear what about this movie you find redeeming. Again, have an offer. Yet no one has taken me up on it because you know why, Nate? It's a garbage ass movie.
There goes my Gretel. Watch her as she goes onto the movie list because someone's going to request it. You watch. You watch.
All right. Well, look, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.